we would like to go back to the beginning of our discussion about the role of each and every one of us, the role of citizens when we create something new, when we start a new process, a new project. And you have heard about our own project that started 3 years ago with Delphi, the creation of the World Human Forum. But we are not the only ones. Many, many citizens right now are thinking, developing, creating new projects. And it's one of those, and probably one of the most inspiring, that we would like to share with you today. And the beauty of it is that Nina Meyerhof, who is now our next guest, she and I, we met precisely in Delphi. Because Delphi didn't inspire only us. Others have been inspired by Delphi recently, and there was a beautiful meeting last October, 150 participants from all parts of the world, organized by Now Assembly, two of our Russian friends. And their idea was to work on consciousness, and actually, they even work on a wonderful project that we plan to follow closely, which is to create the new Delphic Maxims. Because after all, what about wisdom today? If ancient intelligence, ancestral intelligence can teach us something about wisdom, maybe we should be doing the same. So Nina Meyerhof and myself, we met in Delphi last October. That's where we heard about her project, the creation of the One Humanity Institute. I hope Nina is somewhere there. I hope Scott can find her, because I think she should be the one to tell us her story, how this idea started, and where it is right now. Nina, are you there?
I sure am, and I'm so happy to be here. It's really a pleasure to have such a diverse group and to understand that we are one humanity. That is really something that is emerging now on the planet. It has been very interesting process of bringing people together through these difficult times, because I think we're finally understanding that we are one humankind, and that all together we are a species on this planet, and that we are facing issues together. So I started with Domen Kochevar about 5 years ago, a concept of One Humanity Institute, a city of hope. And I was hoping we would show the video, but I'm not sure if we are. Do we know? Anybody? No? Okay. So I do it without the video. I've been working in the world of consciousness and spirituality and bringing forth the voice of young people for about 50 years. So know thyself has always been a very relevant concept, because one of the first questions that I would ask youth was to say, who are you? And what is your purpose in life? Because we each have something inside of us that is truly authentic, that wants to be birthed. One Humanity Institute, the concept grew for me out of a visitation to Auschwitz. And when I was there, I realized that this was one of the most horrific spots in the world. I've traveled maybe to over 100 countries, but Auschwitz somehow made its indelible impression on me. I did find names of relatives, and my grandmother, as I understand it, was gassed the day I was born. So I had a relationship. And through that, I began to think about the idea of that I've done my peace work for all these years everywhere in the world, and now it needed to be concretized, to bring it home, to make it real. So Doman and I began this process of identifying a piece of land which was the housing of 11 barracks that belonged to the former SS guards, and considering it the home of new solutions. As most people would know, the United Nations and the Declaration of Human Rights and the State of Israel all were birthed out of this horrific event. So the question is how to use those understandings and bring it forward into what it potentially meant. Because when we spoke to the chief rabbi of Poland, he said one of the limitations of Auschwitz is that people never learned the lessons they were to learn. The idea of keeping it historically correct was for the sake of humanity to understand never again. But then what? And how do we move from hate to hope? And so together with many other people, we have been looking at the potential of developing a whole city of hope with an envisionarium, which is a museum of the future, which would invite people to come and look at who they are and how they can contribute to a world that makes a difference and to bring positive solutions to humanity. The whole idea is to see our oneness, that we together can create the change we believe in. And then we imagine we've been forming a transformational learning committee that has looked at all the new educational processes, and we are beginning to look at answers for solutions, how to educate for authenticity, to bring forward the new human, etc. There are many, many other buildings. Another piece that I think is very interesting, we met a survivor in Israel who bequeathed us a house in the town. It was the original bakery for the town. And we are transforming that bakery into a co-working space for young people and to bring experts there to dialogue with young people on how to create a better future. So much of this is exactly what we're talking about, but concretizing it, bringing it into form, making it visible so people understand it is possible to have solutions for our global issues and to work together so never again becomes a total reality. So anyway, I'm so happy to be here to share this and to bring forth the understanding that as conscious human beings, we can bring forth understanding that we live together on this planet and that we serve each other in a way that's positive. I heard a term just the other day from a young African who works on policy in Ghana, and he was saying to me that the new concept is frugal innovation, which means less is more. And how do we live together holistically? And so I bring that to your attention, and I hope you understand and am open to speaking. We're always looking for suggestions. It's to house NGOs and individuals who have vision of a better future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank
to
you.
move from hate to love, indeed, and to use an emblematic place like Auschwitz for providing an answer of what comes next. What now? You said it's not enough just to look back in the past and remember that never again. We need a new story of hope. We need this new narrative that we can construct a better world altogether. And it is interesting how emblematic places like Delphi and Auschwitz, each of them in a very different way, have in fact a lot in common. They can be used and they should be used because they have millions of visitors every year. And that is a huge opportunity to get our messages through. So I'm very glad that you had the possibility to share the One Humanity Institute project with us today. We will stay in touch, and I hope that you will succeed to implement your project, and we will always be communicating around it through our site and other ways.